No parking. Helipad turnaround. This ends the product placement by Motophoto Adventures. Please don't forget to pay by Venmo, Jason. Thank you. Now this morning I came down and did the closing of my last video. It was grabbing a camera with no handle, hitting the record button, and mumbling into it in a stupor. That is your average YouTuber in the motovlogging community. This is different. We have the professional grade tripod, the professional grade camera, and the professional grade on-air talent critiquing the director.
Steve Roos Rides.
Like and subscribe.
AKA Motophoto Adventures.
First of all, welcome to the channel and thank you for stopping by. When time permits, please consider subscribing. I would greatly appreciate it. It has been a very long time since I've done an on-bike welcome to the channel, but I was lazy last night and didn't close out the last video, so I did that this morning, and then packing the bike, and then doing the Motophoto Adventures opening. I just ran out of time and I'm lazy. But welcome to beautiful Nova Scotia. There is sun in the sky. There is light falling upon my bike. You can probably see that it's still soaking wet from the rain all night, but I do not believe it's going to rain today. Knock on wood substitute. We are expecting to have a 77-degree, partly sunny day, which would be amazing after the day we had yesterday. I'm not sure how much I expounded upon it yesterday, or in the last video, it was rainy. It was low to mid 60s and raining. It was either misting or pouring, the wind was blowing, and while it was the best riding, it was the best twisties, it was the best views on the Cabot Trail. Wow, did it get taken down a notch by just being rained on and practically blown off the road. I'm not looking forward to ever doing that again. The combination of heavy winds and heavy rains just detracts a little bit from your riding adventure. I swear, if it had not been such a beautiful twisty road and it had not been such a beautiful view, I'd have gone to sleep as grumpy as Greg over on the Bearded Drum. However, today is a new day and it's looking great. I believe Chris has us planned to stop at a popular cafe. I could use some caffeine. He has us stopping, I believe, in a beautiful picturesque town. I kind of like those. But what he has us stopping at that I'm most looking forward to is a small cable-driven ferry. In all my riding, I've never gotten on a ferry. I've always thought, hey, I want to get on a ferry. But anytime I am near one, it's 3+ hours until it's going, and I don't have time for that. So I have never taken the time to put my bike on a ferry and had that experience. And I'm very much looking forward on this trip to having a small cable-driven ferry. And then the plan right now is on Monday to take the 9:30 a.m. ferry back to the United States from Yarmouth to Bar Harbor. Oh, sorry, Bahama. We are off the highway, which is great. There is more sun, less wind. However, I went ahead and had my visor open to get a little bit of fresh air on me, and my pin lock blew loose. So doing 75 miles an hour down the highway, I had to get my pin lock out of the odd angle inside of my helmet and get it into the tail or the tank bag for now. So yet another use for my Nelson Rig tank bag, holding parts that fail on my helmet. But we'll deal with that later, and if the weather holds as it's supposed to, well, there won't be that much moisture in the air, and I really won't need the pin lock today. We'll deal with it later. More and more sun behind us, so it does appear to be opening up towards us. It would really be nice to have a bright sunny day on that little ferry, but I'll be happy to just be on it. Look at that sun. Bring it on. We are riding through the countryside. A little bit of misting. I don't believe I can be in Canada without getting some water falling from the sky, but it's all good. I thought I would take a moment and comment on the riding style of Chris Smith of Motophoto Adventures. Now, I have watched literally every single one of their videos. I first caught his third or fourth video on his Mexico trip. And at that point, I was very much into thinking about a trip to Mexico on the bike. So I went back, watched his other videos, and by the time he finished Mexico, I liked Chris's personality. So I just kept going through. I watched the remaining videos, caught the videos with Jason. Then, of course, the channel just took off with Steve in it. But Chris was my first introduction to their work or his work. And you always think you know how a rider is when you're watching their channel. Are they aggressive? Are they relaxed? Are they a stickler for the rules, or are they reckless? We form these preconceived opinions based on these snippets of riding we see from them. Now, Chris is a communicator, so I don't even think about his riding generally. I think about explaining to me where they're standing. I think about him interviewing someone and giving me their story as part of the Motophoto adventure. So understand that. I really didn't ever think of much of Chris's riding in where does Chris fit in the box I put everybody in, because he was not so much a motorcyclist as a moto journalist. However, on this ride, he is 99.9% of the time the point man. That's Chris right there on his beautiful Touareg, making sure the three of us get where we're going and arrive there when we need to and get back on the road and get to our next destination. And this has allowed me to spend time following Chris, observing his riding, because well, he's right in front of me, or he's 2 bikes in front of me at the most. And I have to say, Chris is an aggressive rider. If I had to guess and put him in a box to pigeonhole him based on my not really paying attention to his riding, aggressive is in no way the way I would have described him. He has an incredible amount of confidence and control over his bike, and he is always ready to react, to pass, to slow down, to accelerate. He does an exceptional job of riding that bike, which he's only had for a month, and I think for a week and a half of that he was out of town with it. So if you are looking at Chris's riding from the clips, and they're always playing the relaxing music, and it looks like they're taking their time, that's not Chris. Chris is the guy that is on his bike in an attack position, committed to getting where he needs to go, with very safe but very aggressive passing practices, very aggressive braking habits, very aggressive leans when you consider how heavy that bike is. I mean, take a look at what that man has on his bike. That is a lot of weight. And he rides the bike as though it were a bike he'd ridden for years with not a single bag on it. So, Chris Smith, everyone. Aggressive, confident, extremely competent rider. Now this is the most beautiful coast we've seen. It is lovely. And it was a really nice ride coming up on it. Chris just brought us up the most beautiful little rocky coastline to a small lighthouse, support building, and incredibly loud, occasionally, horn. It's been going off nonstop, but now that I'm filming it won't, which actually kind of good for the ears. This is beautiful. Like most of my trip in Nova Scotia, it is still just cloudy and it's raining on us, but it's just gorgeous. Take a look at this. Ow. But yeah. Absolutely beautiful up here. As long as you don't mind being rained on regularly. Well, I was hoping to put the pin lock back in, but that's not to be. The reason the pin lock came out is I have one pin. Yeah, I have one pin. So that pin lock's not going back in. Well, as far as mechanical breakdowns go, honestly, this is not terrible. I will just open up my visor and let some air in and hopefully it'll stay clear. Even in the high winds, Chris is risking his drone to get a look at this absolutely beautiful peninsula of Lighthouse. This is why it's important to have someone who knows where they're going. Look at the hidden gems. I never would have gone down this road. Never would have walked up. There was a lighthouse in the area. I would have just passed through from one side to the other, which was our plan. And a nice hidden gem, which I appreciated and applied in the photo. The professional setting up his shot. All right, this was a beautiful stop and an even more beautiful trip up here. I've got some 360 footage, but I'm gonna head on out and try to get a look on this camera. Nice gravel road, millions of little potholes to have fun in. This beautiful forest is gonna open right up into that view. Just stunning. I mean, we've seen a lot of ocean, but this bay is just so pretty. Look at those rocks. Look at those waves coming through. And here's another example, however, of where you are grateful that the smell-o-vision they talked about in the 50s never came to pass. There are countless dead fish on this beach. Woo! It is something else. But it's a small price to pay for that look right there. I mean, what more can you ask for? I've got dirt, I've got mud puddles, and I've got a view of the ocean like that while doing it. This is just gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. This is why I travel by motorcycle. This would not be the same in a car or the camper van. I feel so in nature on the bike in a way I just don't in a car. I can feel that breeze. I can smell that ocean, which sometimes is good and sometimes is not. Much better here. But yeah, I really enjoy riding my bike near the water, and I've not gotten any closer to the water in this entire trip than I am right now, and this is perfect. Absolutely perfect. Just that view, just that sound. And it helps that it's on a little bit of dirt too. I mean, it's not exactly off-roading, but it's better than this being pavement. It certainly feels more natural. It feels more adventure-like-ish. And far too soon, it's over. Goodbye, beautiful bay and lighthouse. I truly enjoyed my stay. Back to the adventure. Next stop, the ferry. A minor navigational snafu. We're at the wrong ferry, or we're at the right ferry. We were supposed to be over there. So it's no longer a cable ferry, it's a standard ferry. We're definitely in the wrong place, so we're just gonna get out of here. Best laid plans. Efforts were made, things happen. We're not in our country. We don't know what's going on here, so. Ooh, a little bit of a hole. But we're gonna head on out. This has been great. We're going through these forests here. Bunch of short trees, tight packed, look great. But then it keeps opening up, giving us beautiful views of the water. I hope the 360 footage is turning out. I grabbed some great shots, including an incredibly large boat beached, I hope for repairs. And now we are just heading on, trying to pound the miles. As you can see, the partly sunny turned into completely cloudy for the day, but it's not raining really hard. It's misting here and there, a little bit of rain now and then. Nothing to complain about. 69 degrees. I wouldn't want to have my icon on, but it's just fine to have my Climb Carlsbad without any insulating layer. Nobody's cold, nobody's too hot, everybody's enjoying the ride. The adventure continues. Well, look at that. Where did this come from? A minute ago, it was all gray in front of us. Make one turn, and all of a sudden, let there be light. Woo! I really didn't think we were going to see any today. And heck, I wouldn't even call this partly sunny. This part of Nova Scotia is just straight sunny. That is awesome. I don't know if you can see in the mirror, but it is not awesome back there. This is all water from it raining no more than 3 minutes ago. And now, riding in the sunshine. Look at that bay. Woo! So beautiful. It's just shocking how much of the Cabot Trail doesn't put you anywhere actually near the water. Here, the water is right there all the time. I mean, not 3 miles goes by without having an opening where you could park your bike and walk right to the water if you wanted to. I think this is far, far better than the Cabot Trail. I was never this close to the water on the Cabot Trail. This is gorgeous. Cabot Trail, first half not great, second half great, but here just meandering around Nova Scotia, it's amazing. So much water, so many small forests. I mean, there are no mountains here in this part, but it's just great to ride. Most of the roads are twisty, not going straight for too long. Just fantastic. Chris Smith, Motophoto Adventures. The man finds good roads. We're having a great time.
drove 12,000 miles.
Halfway around the world.
Listen, guys, I want you to meet my new friend Zoe. By the way, I have a niece named Zoe. She's adorable. So, Zoe's parents moved from big city Toronto.
Yeah. In Ontario.
Started this place, middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
During the pandemic.
Yep. In the middle of the pandemic, so 2020.
The beautiful sunlight continues. It's about an hour since we stopped for lunch, so we stopped for dessert, which was a terrible mistake because they had an incredibly delicious rich chocolate cake, and now I'm ready to take a nap. The sunlight had woken me right up, and that cake put me right back to sleep. Hopefully, visor up, 71 degrees, I'll wake back up before just dozing off on the bike. But definitely having a great day, if only I had not overeaten again. But it seems like I overeat every single day on this trip. There's just too much to eat. And we may even be stopping to eat just a few too many times because I think I'm eating like 4 meals a day minimum. Well, back on the road, hopefully nowhere near any food, any cake, or any ice cream. Day just keeps on delivering. I absolutely love how this road 7 just opens up non-stop to show us the beautiful water. This is a truly breathtaking place to live. I could live with this being my commute every day. So we have 1 hour and 40 minutes until we should reach our campsite. Chris mentioned we may stop one more time for a quick break, but with any luck, 5:15, we will be camped up for the night. We're not even a full 45 minutes from our last stop. I can only assume that Jason made us stop to take a look at this. That is a very pretty Yamaha clone of a Sportster. Tastefully chromed out. Very nice. And look at the width on this tank. Jeez. You could just keep riding this thing all day. Oh boy. I don't know if all that text can make it onto YouTube. And if that Yamaha wasn't a reason to stop by, is anyone old enough to remember the S10? You know, that dependable little truck that couldn't get out of its own way? Take a look at this. A 383. This has had some work done. 1989 Chevy S10. Just a little bit of width on those wheels. I'm not sure if you can call that tastefully remastered, but it's sure as hell remastered. Me, I like the classics. Things that haven't been changed. They were right the day they rolled off the assembly line, and they're still right. Charger 500. Perfect the day it was designed, and perfect 45 years later. Yeah.
So they have an
Art is dead in automobiles. Absolutely dead. I have no idea why we're here, but it is a nice break. Not as nice as riding, but I guess a nice break. Railway Museum, the nicest looking thing here, the Dodge Charger. I got 4 motorcycles. How much?
$5.
$5? Can I pay for 4 so you stop the last guy? No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
I'll stop at 2. What the heck am I going to get? Yeah.
Take care. All right. That wasn't so bad. Now let's see what this beautiful bridge looks like. I like bridges because there's almost always a nice view. That and, well, bridges are cool. Now, I'm not a big fan of metal-lined bridges that make my motorcycle tires go all over the place, but a nice asphalt bridge, sign me up. No, not a bad view. Look at that view. Woo! With the sun on the water. Gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. Ah, Chris is 360ing. I thought about it for a minute and then I got lazy. I am certainly not a creator. I'm I'll do something now and then. But I am too lazy to be one of those guys that gets the shot. I'm just getting my view and hopefully the camera's still rolling. All right, bridge is over. Back to it. Looks like we have 45 minutes. So, 45 minutes. Hope the traffic's good. Okay, I'm hiding from the wind as best I can. You'll see in a moment that it's really whipping. Tide's coming in. We are at the Lighthouse at Peggys Cove, Nova Scotia. Chris Smith was told this is the best place for the sunset. So we are here to watch that sunset. We just got finished being at our campsite 5 minutes away, right down the road. Take a look at this thing. That's a beauty. The moto photo guys are in no way the only people with professional level cameras here. So I'm gonna have to say that it is a really good place for the sunset because the big guns with the big lenses have come out to see it. The weather today, absolutely fantastic. This has been an amazing day on the road. So much better than the Cabot Trail. If you are coming to Nova Scotia to ride the Cabot Trail, that's great. But there are so many hidden gems off of the Cabot Trail that honestly, I might look for those first. Definitely talk to some people that are local, talk to some people that have ridden here and not the Cabot Trail, but have gone to the nooks and crannies of the island and found out what's great here, because I think it's just Cape Breton we've been really riding, and it's just amazing, just fantastic. Little spots all over the place. The Cabot Trail was mostly half of it okay at best. The other half was great. But every little spot we've taken off of it, every little nook and cranny Chris has picked out, has been on the ocean, has been the sea, some sun, the surf, just so worth going there. All right, if you stuck around, I had a great day, and I hope there was something in the video that was great for you. Thank you, and take care.